And so again, I think that's part of that arrogance. Now, I do want to say this, though, that there's a lot of prosecutors, there's a lot of good prosecutors in that office. Mr. Olson himself has given 22 years of his life to prosecuting crime in Stafford County. I don't think Eric and I have respect for each other, but we have fundamentally different views about how that office should be run. I think part of it is arrogance, and part of it is that when you've been a prosecutor for so long, you tend to get blinders, and you tend to view people and criminal defendants in one particular way, and I think that's where Eric and I differ as well.
Fred, you have anything to say?
Well, I don't think I followed through with everything that's on my mind, but in saying that they 5 people on the board now, and hopefully there'll be 2 Democrats up there. It's not about the Democrat and Republican, but when you don't have a balance, and that's what it's all about, that's what Mr. Tim was just talking about then, you get cocky, I can do what I want to, and you forget what your responsibility is. And I think that a lot of them maybe has been decent people at times, but they forget, and then they become cocky, and then they can do anything they want to whoever they want to. And this is not fair to the people. And that's the reason the Democrats should work harder to bring this balance back into for a 2-party system, 3-party system, whatever. There's some competition in that people will think twice. Now, one of the things, when I said you're going to speak up, I meant that. I want to confront every issue to make sure that the public that is listening knows the position of that person. And if there's something hidden and I think it's hidden, I want to ask them about it, Now, I have a lot to learn. Parliamentary procedures is something that way back down the road there, years and years ago, I studied a little bit of politics in school. But I got a lot of catching up to do in a short period of time. And I'm reaching out for anybody that can kind of tutor me a little bit, and guide me a little bit on this line. Because you can be certain that they have guidance from a lot of people. They got guidance from the state. They got guidance from the counties and the surrounding counties. So that is one tight-knit group, and which I think that's probably a good thing, that they tight-knit. If they was going in the right direction, it would be a lot better.
So is the Gestapo.
But that's what I hope to maybe can bring some of that into being.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Marvin, can I take about 5 minutes?
Okay, well, you have a
I just
question?
wanted to make a comment, it's not a question.
Sure.
But the candidates need to get literature out in the mail. You need to get signs up. I talk to people that vote the other way, and they see their candidates all the time.
Yeah.
And I know it costs money, and there's where our contributions help, but you've got to get out there.
Sure.
And that's
Sure.
one thing I have to say.
I think most everybody knows George Schwartz, who is here at Falls Run, had chairman of the forces.
I didn't anticipate doing this. It just occurs to me tonight, and I want to reinforce some of the things that these folks have said, and give you some new information about behind the scenes things that happened. I was the chair of the board when the Democrats, for the first time in the history of Stafford, that would be since 1664, had control of the board. And that was 08 and 09. And during that period, the Republicans on the board did not expect what to happen. Went crazy every meeting for 2 years. So I did have my work cut out for me, as some of you know. But it is a filthy business in Stafford, and the Sheriff's Department is not, I guess, the only area. things got so bad, and this is while I was chair. My wife and I, we bought a gun for the first time. Went to Charlie Jet, gave us training at the range, and I did this because of the fact that I was being, I don't know whether it's threatened or intimidated or a combination of both, but things got so bad that a sheriff's deputy escorted me to my car after some of the meetings. I'm sure you're not aware of that. Was not a good time. A couple other things that happened, again, while the Democrats were in control. We passed the business and professional occupational license tax. All the other major counties, 45 counties around us, have that tax and licensed businesses. We're one of the few major counties, all the cities in the state have it. We're one of the few, I don't know if maybe we're the only county in the world that doesn't license businesses. We still don't. You can open a business and you don't have to tell anyone. Just open the business. Rent a place and you're in business. The tax collector doesn't, the only way he knows about the businesses that are happening here is by walking the streets or driving the streets, and that's a fact. So two things happened. The last month of my tenure, we approved the appointment of someone to the Board of Zoning Appeals. And the Republicans fought that because this member would have been in opposition to the Republicans on the Board of Zoning Appeals. Very important board. So the first thing that happened after the Republicans regained control in January 10, they reversed the V poll, so it never took effect. And during the time that we had enacted this thing, they instituted a lawsuit against the 4 people who had voted for it. So I was the proud recipient of the lawsuit. When the Republicans reversed the poll, the suit was dropped, obviously. But they sued. They are prone to suing people in this county. They sued to get that member of the Board of Zoning Appeals off the board. And they sued him personally. It cost him thousands of dollars to fight the suit. And he lost. It went to the Virginia Supreme Court, and he lost. And it was based on board actions that I was responsible for, that I believe were perfectly legal, but they lost. He lost. And they sued him personally. And they sued, remember I mentioned Patricia Mancini ran for the school board. And they wanted the write-in candidate to win, so they sued her personally. And it cost her thousands of dollars. About $18,000. If they don't like you, they'll sue. And they'll cause you financial damage, if nothing else. So that's how the Republicans work in Stafford County. So it's the tip of the iceberg here. I mean, we've got the Sheriff's Department, the Commonwealth's Attorney, and so forth. But as the board goes, you've got it there too, because the UDA, urban development area, is what Mr. Sweat was talking about. And the one up in Griffiths Whitewater was a builder's dream for years, Andrew Garrett. And Garrett wanted this thing, and you know, what the builders want, they get in Stafford County, and they just got it through the new comprehensive plan. We had a comprehensive plan that we worked out with the Republicans while we had the majority. And they agreed to all these things. As soon as they got in, they threw that out, and they announced a new comprehensive plan, and they announced that it had been written by, and you can check this out in the Freelance Star. It was written by a straw man. This is a straw man's presentation of a comprehensive plan. This is true. And this is what it's all about. So they ran that thing through, and nothing ethical about the opposition party here. And I just wanted to throw it. I think that it would be very important in the next meeting here to quadruple the number of people that are here. I don't know how we're going to do it, but it's very important to do.
Can I ask George a question?
Sure.
What's the story with registering people here? I mean, to me, it seems like it's very densely populated, besides Falls Run, out along even Plantation, that whole area. How do we get people to vote, to register and vote over there? Doug, you may know more about it, because you ran over here, and, I mean, how do,
You can't drag them
You
kicking
knock
and
on
screaming.
doors.
I mean, to me, it would seem that there's enough people.
John and I
Yeah.
If
did
you
a lot
got
of
them
knocking
registered,
on
that
doors.
maybe they would change
You
the,
have to go,
Can I
you do
tell you-
door to door with papers in your hand.
Can I tell you what we did in California?
Sure.
Because you legally, as a registrar, have to be bipartisan. But we would be, I would get notarized as a registrar, one of my friends would. And I would go and find like a big apartment
Right,
complex,
that's
we
what we
get a
have
lot of
here.
people. One of us would go knock on the door, are there any unregistered Democrats here? Yes, there are, would you be interested? Okay, go down, get her, send her up. And that was perfectly legal, except I couldn't, as a registrar, knock on the door and say, here I am, would you like to register? So that's what we did.
But the other half of that is getting them not to vote.
Yeah, well then, but what you can, they can't go vote until they're
but they
registered.
can't vote till they're registered.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else like to make any comments? All righty, we don't have a date set for next month, but there will be a meeting. You'll get plenty of notification and lots of phone calls. Joan, I want to thank you very much for helping us doing all these things. And
I'll be there.
Doug and a couple of other young ladies that helped also, and thank you once again.
Okay.